Friday, November 8th. The city is in chaos since the night my father died, with Penguin looking to take his place as the new mayor of Gotham. There is no point in me staying in the city. I met someone recently. He's different, exciting. We're almost two of a kind. But I don't think I can stay in Gotham for him. Before I leave for Bloodhaven, there is something I need to do.
On the roof of the Gotham Museum, Selina Kyle was so happy she could purr, but she was as quiet as she could be. It was the middle of the night. Any noise could set off the alarm. Selina carefully cut a hole into the glass skylight with her glass cutter. The hole was just big enough for her to wiggle through. She smiled as she dropped a rope through the hole. Quiet as a cat, she went down the rope into the dark museum. 4 feet below her was a maze of hidden laser beams. If anything passed through any of the beams, it would trigger the alarm. So, Selina pulled a small spray can from a bag on her belt and sprayed the floor. A cloud of smoke spread through the darkness, and the beams of light shone bright red. She dropped safely to the floor between the beams, like a cat who always lands on her feet. Step 1 was done. It was time for step 2. Inside the glass display case in front of her were the very things she had come to the museum for: the golden cats of Bast. These twin statues of Bast, an ancient Egyptian goddess in the shape of a cat, were some of the most valuable items in the museum. The statues were solid gold, with glowing rubies for eyes and collars with big diamonds. But Selina knew there was an alarm on the display case, and the slightest touch to the case would set it off. So, she pulled out a second spray can. She sprayed the thick glass with a special freezing gas. A mist settled over the case. Within seconds, the case and the alarm were frozen solid. Selina tapped the glass, and the case broke into pieces. With a smile on her face, Selina picked up one of the statues. But as she reached for the second one, she heard a familiar voice. "I thought you were leaving Gotham."
I am leaving Gotham, but there was something I had to do first.
What? Breaking and entering?
Speak for yourself, Vigilante. I'm just taking what's rightfully mine.
The statues? Selina. Suddenly, still clasping the one statue, Selina leapt for the rope still hung from the skylight. Agile as a cat, she began to climb, but the dark night was right behind her. As Selina pulled herself through the hole in the skylight, she could see Batman climbing after her, but he would never make it in time to stop her. As soon as she was on the roof, Selina untied the rope. She watched with a smile as the rope fell down the hole and Batman landed with a thud. Selina didn't want to leave behind the second statue, but she had no choice. She had to plan her next move carefully in order to retrieve the second statue. Batman sat in the Batcave, looking at a huge computer monitor. Alfred, his mentor and lifelong friend, stepped out of the elevator.
I trust the night went well.
Not at all. Selina Kyle stole something.
Selina? Oh, that friend of yours?
Yeah.
And what's all the fuss about?
She stole one of the statues.
What statues?
Golden cats.
Oh my. Why would she steal one of the golden cats?
Falcone.
Falcone?
He's her father. Or was her father.
Dear God, I had no idea.
Those statues were originally part of the Wayne family collection.
That's correct. Dating back to the 1920s. In an effort to raise funds for the city, your father, before his run for mayor, had sold the cats to the museum, but they never made it there as the truck was hijacked.
The cats were sold on the black market and purchased by Falcone. We didn't know until his death. And the statues were finally brought to the museum, where they belong.
Any idea why she only took one statue?
She'll come for the second one, I'm sure.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to have to stop her.
The following night, Batman was outside the museum where the second Bass statue was being moved for safekeeping. In a little while, an armored car would pull up in front of the building. Police officers would carry a safe with a statue into the armored car. Batman knew that Selina would try to steal the statue, but he was ready for her. He made sure this event was all over the news, and he hid inside the guardhouse on a busy street. Exactly on time, the armored car drove up to the museum along with 4 police cars. Through a crack in the guardhouse door, Batman saw the car stopped right in front of the museum. The Caped Crusader watched as a museum employee brought the safe out to the armored car, handing it to a cop. There was no sign of Selina anywhere. Shortly after, the armored car drove away, followed by 3 cop cars. Batman was about to leave the guardhouse when he saw a policewoman run out of the museum alone. She hopped in the 4th police car and sped away. The only problem was that wasn't a policewoman. That was Selina Kyle. She had disguised herself. Selina drove away from the museum. The golden statue sat on the seat next to her. She couldn't believe it. She had outsmarted everyone, and now both statues were hers. She raced through the city, making sure no one was on her trail. Then she drove into a deserted alley. There, the feline felon threw away the stolen cop uniform, her regular disguise underneath. Then, clutching the statue, she climbed a fire escape and ran across the rooftops, making her escape. Suddenly, the Dark Knight appeared, seemingly out of nowhere, into Selina's path. He grabbed her, firmly, so she couldn't run.
Nice try, Selina. You can run from the police, but you can't run from me.
Let me go.
Why do you want the statues?
They were a gift to my mother from my father.
Falcone.
I'm just taking back what's mine.
They were stolen, Selina.
Oh, really? From who?
Me.
Oh, come on.
There's no time to explain.
You're serious?
I am.
Listen, you gonna let me go now or not? Cops are coming. Please?
Batman, forced to make a decision, releases his grip on her, and Selina takes off. Jumping from rooftop to rooftop, she disappears into the foggy night. Batman looks down and sees the statue at his side. Selina left it behind.
I don't know why he let me go. Somehow, I feel tied to him. maybe he feels that way about me. It doesn't change my decision about leaving Gotham. Perhaps someday I'll come back. Perhaps to him. We are two of a kind, and we'll always be connected. After all, I still have one cat, and he has another. Bat. This is going to be so much fun.